February 12th board, regular scheduled board meeting to action, and ask that you join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. And now would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we'll have our mission statement read by Director Knight.
Waterloo Schools community commits to a comprehensive system of education and support to ensure that each and every student will graduate prepared for college, career, and citizenship, as evidenced by continuing education, pursuing a career path, and contributing to a community.
Thank you, Director Knight. And now for our first item on tonight's agenda, we have a school presentation by Bunger Middle School. So a little insight, throughout the 2023-24 school year, we will hear about the many amazing things happening in each of our school buildings. Tonight, we have Zach O'Brien, principal of Bunger Middle School, and his team will share some great things happening at Bunger. Make sure the green light's on. Click the button.
Push. There we go. Good evening. I'm Zach O'Brien, principal of Bunger Middle School. Like Astor Williams said, first off, I'd just like to thank Dr. Smith and the board for allowing us to come tonight to showcase our PBIS that we do at Bunger Middle School. I have two wonderful staff members here, Jacob Cash, he is a project Lead the Way teacher, and Casey Van Ostlen, who is our art teacher. They both kind of spearhead and lead our PBIS team. Also, we have 8th grader Archie Shaw here to talk about PBIS, who does a wonderful job for us at Bunger. And also, come up here. We have 6th grader Lily Aselson to also help us out, so I will turn it over to them.
Okay, perfect. I'm Jacob, by the way. Nice to meet you all. So PBIS, a little bit about our group is, it stands for Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports, and it's just to allow students to demonstrate fewer negative behaviors and also perform better academically, socially, and emotionally. We kind of created a saying this year. It's smart behaviors earn smart rewards. And each of the letters for the acronym, it's safety, mindfulness, achievement, responsibility, and trustworthiness.
So we've kind of, in the last 2 years since I've been at Bunger as the head principal, we've really tried to focus on our PBIS. What we know is that 80 to 90% of our students, which you'll see on this kind of school-wide system RTI model, are able to successfully navigate the building each day behaviorally and academically, and most of those students do not require any interventions. We also know that about 5 to 15% of our students may need a minor intervention, such as a safe seat, just some kind of intervention with our interventionist that could help them out. And then we also know about 1 to 5% of our students kind of live in the tier 3 part of the triangle, and we do things like smart cards for those students where they have like a daily check-in and check-out with a trusted staff member, and then they have a smart card that is filled out by teachers throughout the day, and the smart card would be geared towards each student and what their needs are. You want to go there? So really, what we have is we have a population of about 500 kids, And what we know is that about 30, probably 5, actually right now it's about 5 to 24 of the students we have are in Tier 3. And so what we find is when we do those check-in and check-out models with them and we do their smart cards, it helps them navigate the building. I'll be honest, a lot of times when I'm out in the hallways, like kids will come up to me in the middle of the day and they'll be like, hey, I got all 3s on my smart cards, or I don't have any 1s this week. So it's really a motivational tool for them that helps them. We also, like I talked about, we talked about individual skills that they may need to work on. It could be getting to class on time. How do we know, how do we deal with a situation with a teacher if they ask us to sit in this assigned seat and I don't really want to sit there right now, but I have to for this period. So we do that. And then we have about 5 to 15% of our students who are in Tier 2, and that's about 24 to 85% of students at Bunger, and they just have like a moderate intervention. A moderate intervention that our kids commonly see is they can ask for a break during the middle of the day. They may have like a break card, and then a trusted adult will come get them, and they can walk like 2 or 3 laps around the school with that trusted adult and then return to class. We see that like a lot of times in our blocked classes that are 90 minutes in like math class and English language arts. And we really see that at the 6th grade level as those kids transition. We know that's a difficult year for kids to transition. And then 80 to 90% of our students are in Tier 1 where they don't need any interventions at all.
Okay, so as I mentioned in the beginning about PBIS, we want to see those fewer negative behaviors. So something that we have pushed this year is the Smarty Store. And how students earn things from the Smarty Store is it starts in the classroom with Clash Dojo. Whenever the students are given like an assignment or they do positive behaviors, like they're on task, they're participating, they're coming to class on time, kind of just depends on whatever the teacher feels they're seeing improvement or positive behavior from students, they will then get a Smartie or a number of Smarties. Well, then the students will be able to use those Smarties towards the Smartie Store. And we have different things with different prices. So you can see we've got like glow-in-the-dark headphones, kind of like speakers. We've got little fidgets. We also have talkies and cosmic brownies and games. Like we got some dominoes here. I know there's Jenga right there. So there's tons of different options to meet multiple different student interests. Then that way we can try to gauge that level of more positive behaviors from them.
Do you have a lot of kids who are who buy into it? I mean, who really?
Yeah, we have it twice a month, and we have students, I know I have for a fact, Ms. V, can you kind of attest? We have tons of students who come up to us and ask us, when's the next Smartie Store? You know what I mean? So it does really gauge their interest, and it gets them excited about, being able to improve their behavior. It gives them kind of something to work for.
So in addition to the Smartie Store, we also do events every month. And it kind of depends on, we try to accommodate a wide range of interests. So like we have dodgeball, we did turkey bingo, and we've created like calendars that are kind of match the theme of the month. And we put these out on the TVs in the hallway so students always know when the Smartie Store is and when each event is, and they can use their Smarties to buy their ticket into whatever event we're doing that month. Another popular one, we have another, there we go, okay. We have Pie in the Face. That's one of our kind of traditions that have been going, where the students get to pay to put their name into an entry where they can pie a staff member or our lovely admin team with a pie in the face. As you can see in some of these photos, like we have a pretty big turnout with things like that. We also make sure we include events where they don't have to pay to get in. It's just like a fun event where, because we do have some kids who maybe are struggling behaviorally, they don't have as many Smarties. We still try to include those in there to get that buy-in from those students to want to buy the other events. And then we included a video of Mr. O'Brien getting pied in the face. Oh yeah, he's the one in the middle.
So I would say for our PBS, that's kind of our big event that we do. We do that right before we leave for the holiday break. So the last thing we do on the last day is we bring the entire student body together and staff, and we had a wonderful response of staff members that kind of signed up to get a pie in the face. And so we as administrators kind of come out. If you were looking at the last slide, that was me in that giant gingerbread blow-up costume. Last year I was the Grinch. But this is just a great way to send kids off for holiday break. So we really enjoy this one, and this is probably our highlight event, I would say, of PBIS. We don't need to watch it again.
Or we could. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Oh, never mind, I'm not just
Don't
kidding.
blow it up.
Big screen.
There we go. Okay. So we have a couple students, as Mr. O'Brien mentioned. Our first student, his name's Archie, he's 8th grade. And we just have a couple questions we'll ask him. It's just about PBIS and kind of what they think of it. So, Archie, my first question for you is, what has been your favorite PBIS event and why?
My favorite PBIS event has been dodgeball. They let some of the kids that don't have enough Smarties come in and play. Some kids with behavior problems join in, and it's kind of a fun interaction with all the kids.
All right, so I have a question for Lily. So, Lily, how does PBIS help you in school?
PBIS helps me stay focused and stay on task. So I know I can go to the event once a month and I can buy something at the Smarties store.
Is there anything you bought this year at the Smarties store?
I bought a water bottle, which I really liked, and I bought a Bunger lanyard, which is on my phone.
Okay, and then for both of you, do you think PBIS has made an impact at Bunger, and how so?
I think PBIS has made a big difference in Bunger. Coming in 6th grade, I was kind of nervous transitioning from elementary school to middle school, and it kind of kept me on track and gave me something to look forward to.
I also think PBIS has helped me at Bunger because it helps me stay focused, and it also helps me knowing that there's always something there in the month that I can go do.
The kiddos, do you guys feel like that you get enough opportunities where you're earning enough of your Smarties to do what you want to do? Yeah. You're getting caught doing good stuff a lot?
Is there any other questions?
Yeah, are all the smart cards the same, or are they custom designed for each individual?
So we started off with them all being the same. What we found out real quickly is that probably is not the best model, that one size doesn't fit, every kid. So really what we try and do is we try and customize them for each kid. So one kid may struggle with getting to class on time. One kid may struggle with lunchroom behavior. One kid may struggle with sitting in their assigned seat. So actually we have an interventionist that we hired this year named Cameron Green. She's done a tremendous job of doing check-ins and check-out with kids, and then customizing those cards for each kid and front-loading the students, and it's really helped.
That's awesome.
I think this program sounds really great. Is there an escalation process if things aren't working well?
Yeah, so what we try and do, what is great is this program provides us like a lot of data and throughout the year. So like we know a kid that's in tier 1 versus tier 2 versus tier 3. It kind of tiers our students for us. So if we have a behavior, we kind of know what tier they live in. And then like if you already have a smart card, so we use that, and so it kind of really helps us in the process, yes.
Thank you.
How do students and their families get introduced to PBIS?
So what we try and do is, number one, right when you come in, you saw that picture. That was like, right as you come in, that's kind of our PBIS I guess our designated space for that, so parents see that right away. The other thing we try and do is when students come in as sixth graders, we try and let them know right away what it is. If you were to visit our building, throughout the building, you would see different signs for PBIS. So we have like, I would call them like Be Smart posters. They're actually like a poster board that we had made. And so there's expectations for each one. So like being smart in the lunchroom, what does it look like to be mindful in the lunchroom? What does it look like to be trustworthy in the lunchroom? Then we have them for the restrooms, the halls, the gym, the classroom. So we try and acclimate kids with those. The other things we try and do as students is every quarter we have a recognition for like grade point average and attendance, and we also focus on our Be Smart language and kind of review that with students. So really I would say where our parents get acclimated the most is probably when we do that first night of orientation. When parents come in, we really try and push it, and then when students start on that staggered start, we introduce it and we start all kids off with Smarties like that first day. We try and get kids to get like 10 to 15 Smarties that very first day or that first week.
Thank you.
Is this, is the delivery method for PBIS, is that consistent across all 4 middle schools, or is it unique, or?
So it's like a national program. I think what you would find is a lot of the schools in Waterloo use this program. I used to be at West High, we used it there. I think what you would see is it's tailored different at each school. So like I know at Hoover they have it and they call it Hawk Bucks. For us, we call it Smarties in the Smarties store. So each school kind of has their own unique thing, but the model is the same, the tiering of the students and whatnot. Now the events may be different at each individual school, but the theme is the same.
So, you spent time at the high school level. How do you feel this program prepares students to transition from middle school to high school?
I would say, we get a lot more buy-in at the middle school level, I'm just going to be honest, especially like with the store. I think younger kids resonate with it, but I would guess what I would say for like the transition is the more students in 8th grade that we can keep in that tier 1. I don't have the data in front of me, but I'm sure there's a direct correlation that if you leave 8th grade in tier 1 or tier 2, your chances of being successful at the secondary level probably increase. So our goal, like even though we're at 80%, which would be the national motto, we love if we have more than 80% of kids in tier 1 or tier 2. And what you'll find is a lot of kids want to live in that tier 1 and they want that positive feedback and those Smarties.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is great to see. I mean, we've seen, over the years, you've seen PBIS in buildings where it's really great and some where it kind of dies out. And it's interesting because going way back to like when I was working at Central, like we had the Boys Town method, and that's kind of the base, right? It's exciting to be able to see one where you've gotten this kind of engagement and have it stay at that level.
Yeah, and it was, I'll be honest, it was kind of there when I got there 2 years ago. It was just kind of my philosophical belief that we need to recognize students for all the good things they do. Yeah. It's really easy in a school day to pick out the 1 or 2 things that are difficult, and then we kind of overshadow all of those great things that are happening every day. So, when I came in with at Bunger, I felt that it was really important that we start recognizing kids for all the great things they're doing and rewarding them for that, because that's happening every day. And as you can see, like 80% of our kids automatically live in tier 1, which is outstanding.
Do we have any more questions?
Can we get a
Oh,
picture?
okay, so we'll get a picture while Emily's coming up. We do want to thank you for coming and talk to us tonight about PBIS. Archie and Lily, you did an amazing job. We love when students come talk to us and tell us all the great things that they're learning and doing in the school building. So you guys did an amazing job. Your parents should be very proud. So, Mr. O'Brien, thank you.
And Lily, this might be your chance. Maybe next year we could get a few board members or Dr. Smith or Mr. Spaghettis to come to the Pie in the Face.
We can make that happen.
This is your chance to get them on the hook. We've never had that.
I know how to get that on the superintendent's calendar.
Perfect, I can probably shoot you a date.
Contact me.
So to be fair, to be full transparent, it's the same day as the Expo Pie in the Face, but we can probably do both. We can probably do both, so.
We know how to work the times.
Astor, would you like to join us?
I would. I would. That's not an we'll talk.
It's a
We'll talk.
problem.
Thank you all again. Amazing job. The next item on our agenda is for information only, and it's a board celebration. We have the first Lego League Challenge team. So on December 9th, Waterloo hosted a first Lego League Challenge qualifier event at Hoover Middle School. 32 teams from across the state of Iowa competed in a 30-minute judging session and 3 2.5-minute robot game rounds. Of Waterloo School's 22 total challenge teams, 14 competed in this event, with the other 8 competing in Cedar Falls on December 2nd. So I believe we have Aaron Sale, who's the district STEM coach, here to talk to us a little bit about it. Just make sure the green light is on before you speak.
Got it. Green light's on. We're good. Hello, so I'm Erin Sale, the district STEM coach, and with me tonight, I'll let them introduce themselves quickly here.
I'm Alexis Lavelle. I'm a teacher at Kingsley Elementary.
I'm Max Rand. I'm a student at Kinsley. I'm Harper Moore.
Also from Kingsley. They're a little nervous. So Alexis had coached one of the Kingsley teams, and Max and Harper were on that team, one of the teams that made it to state. So we had 5 teams this year of our 22, 100 total teams from across the state qualify for the championship in Ames. So we were pretty excited that Waterloo had 5 of them. That's some pretty amazing representation from us. And we're really just proud of all the work that all of our teams have done this year. It's pretty amazing as a district that we are now at 22 of these challenge teams, 4th through 8th grade. So we were almost at every single building this year, and we just keep growing. Team sizes are limited to 10, so the more teams we have, the more kids can get involved. And so 2 years ago, we only had 5 teams. So to be at 22 now and have 5 teams make it to state is a pretty amazing accomplishment for the district. Did we have time to step out and to the table, or is that a no?
We'll make time.
We'll make time.
We'll make time.
So we set up the table. So Astor Williams had said that there's 3 robot game rounds for 2.5 minutes. So part of what they had done is they have 3 chances to show their coding in their robot and complete as many missions as possible. Missions are worth points. And then their top mission, or their top round of the 3, is what the points are collected for. They also did a 30-minute judging session at both the qualifier and at the state event, where they present their innovation projects. So this year's theme was, how can you take the arts and technology and use it to get people interested and passionate about something that you care a lot about? So they presented that. They also discuss how they use the core values. First has core values like innovation, inclusion, impact, so how they impact the community, teamwork, how they use that throughout the season, and then how they designed their robot, which you will see. Oh, they got their robot right here, and then you'll see what it's working. So they present all that in a 30-minute judging session, and like I said, we're just really proud. At state, we didn't come home with awards, but man, if you could have seen the 5 teams, they represented Waterloo so well. It's a long day. We left at 5:45 in the morning on Saturday and got back at 8 p.m. And the teamwork that I saw, congratulating other teams, meeting other teams, that's like the big thing to be proud of. Awards are great, but when we see what the kids are doing, it's big stuff. So yeah.
It's fun to stay the night before. Did any of the teams do it?
No.
No?
No, we charter bus, so we're comfortable.
Oh, okay, you guys.
Yep. But have to celebrate having that many teams and make it a really fun day, and went out to Pizza Ranch for dinner. So
Nice.
had a good time.
So how many students total are involved?
So most of our teams, I think your team had 10. 10 total. I think of our 5 teams that went, we were at 44 students. So a few of our teams had like 7 or 8 kids. We do have some buildings that have multiple teams. So what we try to do is match the level of interest. So if 18 kids want to be on a team, then we've got to get our 2 teams, and then it's just split 8 and 8. So it really depends on how many kids are interested, and I think it helps.
I thought you said you had 22 teams.
So we had 22 total teams in the district, 5 that made it to state. So we had 44 kids that made it to state.
So how
I'd have
many-
to pull the numbers for the 22 teams. It's going to be somewhere between 200 and 220 kids.
So you've grown at a fantastic pace, Celeste. What are the growing pains and I mean, this is just such a perfect program
Yeah.
in every way you can think of. What are the barriers to continuing to grow at that pace?
I think what we've been able to do is get teachers interested. Having Explore in the classroom has opened up some teachers' eyes to like, okay, I can do this. I can coach. There's a time commitment. I will say we are probably one of the very few districts in the state that offers a stipend for coaches' times. I think that makes an enormous difference. A lot it's volunteer. So I think honoring the time commitment that teachers are putting in, they're meeting with teams at least once a week after school for 2 hours, starting in September all the way till December when the qualifier events are, and then even into January when they go to state. And those practices pick up the weeks before. They're meeting 2 and 3 times a night to make sure people are ready to go. And so that's kind of been my big challenge, is finding people. And, we're lucky to have teachers that are at buildings that are like, yeah, I'm kind of interested in this, and I will try it out.
There's no facility restrictions?
No, so the table is large. So I will say at Kingsley, we're lucky that there is one of the partners in ed, Westminster Presbyterian Church on Kimball, has opened their doors and let us set up a table in the basement there.
Oh,
So
that's
prior
nice.
to state, Alexis, they were able to take the kids over there, and parents take them over there so they can have their practice there with the table actually set up. That makes a difference. That would be the only facility restriction we've had. A lot of other buildings have some space for it, but it's just a different dynamic.
Are you able to get mentors? Like, have you had
So we
any
have
barriers there? Or?
some, and thankfully, we've got a really great relationship with John Deere, and so I've met with Mindy Schmidt. And so for the coming year, what we're gonna do is look at the schedule and like what are our top 5 weeks that we would want somebody and how many teams need someone.
Yeah.
And then Mindy can mass send that out to John Deere to get some more mentors in, even if it's just like, hey, for these 4 weeks, right before, we're really focusing on the robot and the coding. So.
Remind them about the dollars for good or whatever that. they
Oh,
have to
we do, yes, yes. And Alexis reminded me, we do have some of our high school robotics kids will come down and help, or even the coaches. So I know Nick Hines is one of the coaches for FRC and FDC, and if I emailed him and said, hey, do you have any of your students that are able to come down? And if they weren't able to, because their season's busy as well, I know Nick was heading down to buildings to help with that. Also a John Deere employee. So, yeah, we've got a lot of support. Great things happening. It really is.
Any more questions right now? Okay, we're gonna take about 4 minutes, go out, they have a display
Yeah.
out, so we're gonna take about 4 minutes or so.
Perfect. That's all, 2.5 minutes is all we need. They'll run that
then we'll
round.
take 2 minutes.
They'll run that round, yeah, thank you.
We have the Lou Henry Little Hawks, coached by Callie Williams, the Highland Lego Squad, coached by Amelia Smith, Hoover Lego Hawks, coached by Tony Kish, Kingsley Challenge Team, coached by Alexis Levo, and the Orange Robot Renegades, coached by Jane Caston. So if we can give them a round of applause as well for making it. As you notice, we're always excited when the students come, and we get a chance to celebrate some of our students. So we'll move on with our agenda for today. The next item on our agenda is a board celebration, Next Grad College Opportunity Network. And this is for information only as well. I see we have Amy Schmidt, Director of Secondary Education, Marsha Waters, West High Counselor, Nicole Miller, East High Counselor. We're thrilled to share the exciting news that Waterloo Schools has recently joined the Next Grad College Opportunity Network. We'll have you come up to the podium, make sure the green light is on, and explain a little bit about this program.
Good evening. Thank you for this quick opportunity to share this little celebration. We were just having a little side conversation that we feel bad that we're following the kids because we probably aren't going to be as exciting, so we'll just preface that with that. But really wanted to say thank you to Marsha Waters, who brought this to my attention originally when I came into this role. So I'm going to turn it over to her to kind of talk about what it is and what it offers for our schools. Marsha and Nikki. Yes.
And I would like to thank Superintendent Smith, who brought it to my attention. Actually, to my principal's attention, who then brought it to my attention. But last spring, Superintendent Smith was at a conference where this was presented. And so our principal brought that to myself and one of our other counselors, and we met via Zoom with the director just to kind of go over what that meant for our building and what they offer. And you know, when they say it's too good to be true because it's free, and you're like, okay, what's the catch? There wasn't one, so it's pretty awesome. But do you want me to explain what it is, or? Okay, so you've maybe been at places like McDonald's or the airport, and you've seen like kiosk screens. That's really what it is, but it's not interactive. When we first plugged it in, I don't know about East High, but we had students touching it. It's like, no, you can't order a Big Mac or anything, but we have 9 schools that pay to advertise, so they each get 2 screens, so it's just kind of a slideshow that runs through. Some of them are videos, some of them have QR codes where students can scan and then get right to that school site. And then each school counseling team gets 2 slides to put our information on that's focused on college and career. So we can change those out every couple weeks. We could leave something up that's pretty important that we want to always stay up, but as we kind of cycle through the school year, ACT information and FAFSA and college visits from reps coming or us attending there, anything that's related to college and career readiness, we're able to put on there. So it's not meant for lunch menus or coaching information or when the basketball game is. It's really directed towards college and career. Want to add anything?
She did great.
Oh. Another pretty awesome thing is that from the money that the colleges pay to have their information posted, there is a scholarship that we're able to designate for one student each year. That's probably how we'll use it at West. It could be used towards other college and career things like fees, you know, for ACT prep or things of that nature, but it's somewhere between a $500 and $1,000 scholarship. So,
How many kiosks do you have in each building?
1.
Just 1 kiosk in each building?
Yep, and it's meant to be in a high-trafficked area. So, you know, initially we thought at West to put it in our library where we have a place called The Space, which is kind of an extension of our counseling services office, where we have our partners there with Talent Search and Upward Bound and college reps, and where we do ACT registration and all kinds of other job board postings and stuff. But it's really meant to be seen hundreds of times a day by multiple, you know, people. So it's on our 2nd floor, right outside the counseling office across from the library, which is a pretty highly used hallway. And we can move it. I mean, it plugs into internet, you know, it's plugged into the wall. But like on senior parent night, if we have that downstairs in our auditorium or in the commons, we can move it to there and then just push a button and it bounces right back up, so it's ready to go.
You have any plans for it next week during conferences?
We'll keep it where it is.
Okay, but you think you're going to add to it, just so you'll have a lot more parent traffic through there?
What do you mean add to it?
Like stuff that you think the parents may not know about otherwise, that might catch on it, or try to advertise to parents to take a look at it?
If they stay long enough to cycle through, you know, but it's all college and career stuff, so it's posted now when it comes to
I
like
just wonder how many parents will know it's there, though.
how many will know it's there?
Yeah.
If they're on the second floor, you can't miss it, you know, because it's there in the hallway, but I'm not sure.
Well, might be nice to communicate, you know, stop by and take a look, because they might learn something if they just take a look at it and read something on there. You know, during conferences, you know.
Well, I think that's Marcia, I think that's great on how you're going about that, of what that information is for colleges, because I think a lot of times that allows a kid to kind of silently do a little search, and then also that might be a bridge to be able to have more communication with you and your office. So I love this. I love this idea. I'm familiar with it, and so it's great that we're doing it.
Is it something, so the scholarship, is that just for the district or is that for each building?
Each building.
Each building. Has there been any discussion of like putting one at the WCC or?
There was, as well as Expo, but I think the enrollment has to be a certain number. I think it's about 1,000 students or more is what they want.
Any more questions, comments? Yep, it is. I see it every day, actually. Well, Monday through Thursday.
So you know.
Yeah, well, and we've seen every now and then, you know, a student take their phone out and QR code or something. It's really hard to collect data and how many people have actually stopped to look at it. And, you know, I always question some things when they're there long enough, they start to just kind of fade into the background. You know, we have TV monitors and posters and all that kind of stuff. But this is kind of nice when it's the college information, you know, and you see a Jayhawk or a Panther or something kind of pop up, so, yeah. And we don't get to select the schools choose. So in our area, we have the same 9 schools that decided to advertise, but I'm sure, because they're all over, you know, they're in different college campuses, they're in different high schools in Iowa, in the Midwest, East Coast, but those colleges get to advertise. They choose where they want to advertise.
Do you know what 9 they are?
We sure do. We came prepared. I'm going to let Miss Miller read those.
Go ahead. Thanks, Marcia. So right now, it's University of Northern Iowa, Grandview, Simpson College, Mount Mercy, Northwestern University, Buena Vista, KU, which is Kansas University, Wartburg, and Co. are the colleges that
Is there a maximum amount of number of schools that can
I think
pay
they
to sign
usually
up?
have about 10 is what they told us in the initial thing, so,
Okay.
I don't know that there's a maximum, but that's usually, because that's what is the cost of kind of purchasing the screen and paying for their tech person and stuff like that.
And they did, when he first came to install, he said that they would update schools maybe like every 2 to 3 months when they would
So
change them.
what's the cycle time of running through them all?
The schools can decide, so they could do a month to month, they could do that for 6 months or a
I
whole
mean,
school year.
On the
How many
screen?
seconds?
Yeah.
5 to 8 seconds, maybe.
I feel like it's more like 23. I counted, I'm sorry.
Seconds? Oh,
For
that's
each, yeah,
awesome.
on
Oh,
each,
that's
before
awesome.
it like cycles through to the next one.
Cool.
Yeah. I had to count the schools, so I needed to know.
I just got a laugh out of that. But thank you, because of course Lyle was gonna ask.
I'm a numbers person.
Yeah, and you were prepared. So we do want to thank you, Jared, for bringing that information back to the district, and thank you for the follow-through and making sure it got done. So we appreciate everything you do for us in the schools.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, continuing with our agenda items, the next item on our agenda, item 7, is information from individual and delegations. Before I read this long spiel, is there anybody that may want to speak to the board this evening? Seeing none, we'll move to the consent agenda. So this evening's consent agenda consists of 5 items. They are the approval of minutes, January 22nd, 2024 regular board meeting, 2 personnel appointments and adjustments, 3 bills due and payable and bills paid between board meetings, the set date of public hearing for the 2024-2025 school district calendar, set date of public hearing for the East High Auditorium and Pool Roof Replacement Project, and approved notice to bidders. Are there any items that board members want to remove from the consent agenda? None. Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to put these on the table.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Chair votes aye. Motion carried. Thank you. Yep. So there is an item that we need to remove from the agenda. It was already approved, so item 10, donation from R.J. McElroy Trust in the amount of $200,000 was already approved at the August board meeting, so we will remove that from this board meeting today. So moving along, item 11, the Waterloo Career Center travel to Baltimore, Maryland. I'll get the recommendation out. The recommendation is, the superintendent's recommendation is that the Board of Education approve travel for WCC cyber students from March 22nd through the 26th, 2024, to participate in the Cyber Force competition in Baltimore, Maryland. And we have Amy Meehee and Kyle Coolers. So can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
So can we get Mr. Coolers and students? He always brings students for us to ask questions to. Just make sure the green light is on. You know the drill. You've done this before.
Yeah, it's competition, so instead of doing one in the summer, this one was brought to my attention by a professor at the University of Central Florida. It's a really good competition to go to, and so I just wanted to, put this opportunity out there, and the students were, some of the students were interested from the Cyber Club, so I just want to, the competition will be on the 23rd at a high school in Baltimore. It's Loyola Blakefield High School in Baltimore, and then we'll take a couple of days and go to DC then and visit the cybersecurity and infrastructure security facility, and also get a tour with the Capitol and possibly the Department of Defense, the Pentagon. So you guys go. I'll have these guys introduce themselves. Just kind of say your name, school, and then what you're going to do next year for college or high school if you're still in high school.
And grade as well, please.
How's it going? I'm Jack Lindeman. I'm a senior at Janesville Consolidated School District. I've been out at the WCC for the past 2 years, participated in the Cyber Club and been to a number of events. I enjoyed a lot. I've learned a ton. It's given me a million opportunities. Right now I'm working for a small small company in Cedar Falls called RSPN, and they're just like a networking and IT facility. So that's been, amazing. And yeah.
Hi, I'm Claire Wright. I'm from Jessup High School. I'm a senior. This is my first year at the Career Center. I'm taking Mr. Cooler's Cyber 1 and Intro to Cybersecurity courses. Next year, I'm planning on going to UNI to major in physics data science. I've learned a ton in Cyber Club, and I love all the opportunities that Mr. Coolers and his staff get us into, and it's really been an unforgettable and unique experience that I'm super happy to have had.
My name is Christian Cole. I go to West High. I'm a senior. I've been going to the Waterloo Career Center for 3 years. I went early. Mr. Close has given me a ton of opportunities. I mean, a lot. I have so much stuff to put on my resume. Even in the summer, last summer, I was able to get an internship that partnered with John there because of Mr. Close' help. And it helped me out a lot. I've learned a ton of stuff. I've visited a ton of places. Like last week, we went to the Capitol. It was cool. And I feel like a lot of people should get to enjoy this opportunity as well. It'd be good if you could help that happen. Thank you.
What do you want to do next year? Did we hear that?
Most likely I want to go to Hawkeye for 2 years, then to UNI for 2 years. And I also have something else going on for me. Thank you.
So what are you doing at John Deere?
We learned about manufacturing, like 3D printing, engineering, AC/DC pneumatics, like electrical stuff. We learned how to computer coding, all that stuff. It was a pretty good experience, and it'll help me out in life.
I love it.
I'm Harrison Ritter. I'm a freshman, and Mr. Cooler so far gave me a lot of opportunities, like the Argonne in Chicago. We went there for a day, and I'm a freshman, so I'll be taking a lot more classes out there with him and hopefully get a internship with another company like them two. Thank you.
What school are you at?
Oh, West High.
Freshman.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Selma Sahira Roscoe. I'm from West High. I am currently a junior, been in the Cyber Club since my sophomore year, and everything I wanted to say has been said. I love all the opportunities that I've gotten. I know a lot of other kids don't get to do the stuff that we get to do, which they need to join. That way they can do all this cool stuff. But I've learned so much, and I'm so thankful for all the opportunities that have been provided through the Cyber Club.
So what are you going to be doing in 5 years?
5 years? I don't even know what I'm having for dinner. Currently, I'm working to get my private pilot's license, and hopefully I'll be a commercial pilot in the future. Yeah.
My name is Ismail Roscoe. I'm a senior at West, and I've been on the Cyber Club for a couple of years now, and this is my first year at the WCC. The Cyber Club has been quite fun, and I've learned quite a bit. Also, that's my sister.
We look the same, don't we?
Does your mom work for the district? Is she a translator?
She was. She now
Oh, she's a teacher now, right?
Yes.
Yes. I roomed with her when we did the band trip to Chicago.
Oh, that's so cool.
So what's the future hold for you?
Planning to go to Iowa State for mechanical engineering.
He just loves that.
One thing that we do have coming up here is February 24th, Iowa State's doing their international cyber defense competition. So we'll have 2 teams participating in that. We're working with Hawkeye Community College. So there will be 3 or 4 Hawkeye students, and then we'll have 5 or 6, 7 WCC students working on each team working together. So they just got the virtual machines, and so all the machines are broken, and so 6 of them. And so they got to get them running and then secure them, and then Iowa State students attack them on February 24th for 8 straight hours. So.
And that's at the WCC? That's where they'll be?
No, this will be in Ames.
Oh, they'll be in Ames?
Yeah, we'll go to Ames for the students to attack. But we can work on the computers now because they're all virtual. And so, so to get the machines running, they're working on that now. So this competition in Baltimore, this will be a little bit different. It's not cyber defense. It's more of a capture the flag type of competition. So there'll be different puzzles, different activities that they'll have to do for about 4 hours, and then they'll get points based off of, you know, what they get completed and that sort of stuff. So if you're curious about what it is, on March 7th at the WCC, we're going to have like a 1-hour CTF in the afternoon, and so that will be from, we'll have some local cyber professionals from 11:15 to 12, but then from about 12:30 till about 2, there will be a CTF at the WCC, where there will be students from across the state there competing in the just a 1-hour, really small, scaled down version of a competition.
When was that one? I'm sorry.
March 7th, it's a Thursday.
Okay.
So do you have one cyber career course or more?
Course?
Yeah.
There currently is, this semester we have 2, and then next year we'll have 4. And so there will be a Cybersecurity 1, which is the first course, Intro to Cybersecurity, which is a little bit backwards, but it has to match the exact name of Hawkeye for it to be a Hawkeye course. So the second one is Intro to Cybersecurity. Then there will be a database course, and so data design, more MySQL, and programming from that aspect. And then the 4th one will be like a work-based learning internship opportunity. So right now we currently have 6 students doing work-based learning in the IT cybersecurity area with another company we're meeting with on Wednesday, looking to add another student right away. So and then there's 1 more. So we may get up to, 8 or so, but right now there's 6. So
what's the total number of students taking cyber courses?
There's 20 in the 2 courses this semester. One has 21 and one has 22.
Is the team the 10 that are going, or is that the whole team, or are there some that can't?
Oh, no, that's not the whole team. The cyber club meets on Tuesday nights, and so no, it's just the 10 that have been the most active.
Got ya.
So you're adding courses, is interest growing?
Yes. Well, the 21, ideally I wanted to cap the courses at 15, but that didn't work. So, so yes.
Okay. So the next course is an advanced course from what you have right now.
The database is it's the Hawkeye database course.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, very good. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is such an important, it's futuristic and we don't understand. Some of us don't understand anything about it, but we're so happy that.
I just asked my son-in-law, that's what I
that they do.
Yeah, my son went to Iowa State, got his degree in MIS, and now is going back to Hawkeye to do more stuff because this stuff changes so rapidly.
Yep.
So I'm really proud of you guys. I'm really excited for you all. I was just asking, I saw you got a grant. Are you able to secure the funds you need to do stuff like this pretty well?
Yeah, the Cedar Valley community is amazing. And so I can't, say enough good things just about the businesses, the industry partners, the nonprofits, just the community is absolutely amazing. Yes,
Must be good. You got the DC tour on there too. I saw going to Baltimore. I hope we'll get to see.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. So.
Well, the train from DC to Baltimore is $8, so.
Just being able to get the grant to level that playing field is great, Kyle, it really is.
Well, I'd like to congratulate each and every one of you students that going into this particular area is unknown. And your minds are uncapped. And so I think that's something that I think is amazing. Teacher, you're doing an awesome job there. I've always hear about cyber security. And so I think that's pretty awesome that with the club there, what you're doing. I'm familiar with some of the students that was in the club there, and they have nothing but awesome things to say. So congratulations to each of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We get to see the face of cybersecurity.
Yeah. So, Kyle, you mentioned that you can't thank the community enough for supporting you financially with grants and just allowing these students to have the opportunity to do these things. But we can't thank you enough
Yes.
for all that you do. You've been before us quite a few times, and every time you come before us, we always get a good feeling. We always get good stories on your return as well. I know some students personally that have participated in your cybersecurity program over the last couple of years, and I'm jealous personally, just how they think and where we see them going. So you're doing an amazing job with that program. And like the young man said, Salma said as well, just students having the opportunity or taking advantage of the opportunities that they're being presented or allowed to do at the Career Center and with your program that you're over. So we can't thank you enough. We sure appreciate you. So with that being said, does anybody have anything else?
Just really quick, and this is my first time hearing about this, is really awesome. Hopefully you'll have an opportunity to come back after the competition so we can hear more about how it went. I don't know if that's okay for me to ask.
Oh, absolutely.
It would be awesome for you to come back and tell us about it.
That's an expectation.
It won't be my last time here.
And I'm so glad to see kids from other districts come to utilize the Career Center. Continue to tell your peers what a good experience you have.
Good things.
So what will they see on March 7th?
So on March 7th, at 11:15 to 12 is just a panel. There'll be 6 or 7 of the IT professionals from, one from North Liberty, but the rest are from the Cedar Valley area. And then there'll be lunch if you want to stay for lunch. But then at 12:30 to 2, you'll see students kind of engaged. They'll be in teams of 3 to 5, and they'll be trying to solve puzzles. And so things like maybe cracking a password, trying to figure out a password, maybe trying to do stego, figure out, they may have a picture and there's a hidden message in the picture, so trying to use different tools to figure out what the hidden message is within the picture. Just different things that kind of are out there in the cyber world that hackers try and use different tools to get into systems. Not legally, but we'll be doing it legally. So.
So, we're ready for a vote. So all those in favor of approving? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Enjoy, have fun.
Yes.
Thank you.
So that concludes our action items for this evening. So now we'll go to the superintendent's report.
Yeah, just a couple things here. Wanted to thank board members, staff members, committee members who showed up to our town hall meetings in January. We had 4 town hall meetings discussing the high school project. All 4 were well attended. Some great conversations that were brought up, some great questions. Pam and I are currently working on feedback from the board at looking at 3 different work sessions that will work through some of the bigger questions that still remain. We're looking at scheduling those over the next few months. So again, thanks to all of you for showing up to those town halls. Kind of going along with that, last week we had 3 really good visits. One was to 3 different recently completed high school projects where we had a chance to see just different ways that high schools across the state have done their projects. So we visited, last Tuesday we visited Cedar Falls High School, last Wednesday we visited Johnson High School and Waukee Northwest High School. All 3 are recently completed high school projects. Like I said, had a huge group that went with us, probably 30 plus on Tuesday and another 30, close to 30 on Wednesday. So just generating ideas, it's exciting. We also know we've got some more time to look at, gather information, continue to get feedback, but some exciting conversations were held. So again, I want to thank you, the board members who were able to take time out of your day to make those visits. You guys are all busy, but really, really appreciate it.
Jared had to apologize to the people. He's like, I didn't tell you guys, we're very we ask a lot of questions, this group, because I think they got a little.
And they didn't mind. I think there's a part, their pride of showing off their buildings too, but I was impressed by how many of the answers they knew, because I'm like, as a high school principal, I'm not sure I would have known that. So they did a really good job. So again, thanks for that. Last but not least, it's kind of been on the back burner, but it's still something we've been working on behind the scenes, is we are looking at a new strategic plan for next year. That will be a 5-year strategic plan. Just to recap where we've been, we did a staff and community survey back in like August. We've done a number of like focus groups with our administration, DLT, and other district leaders. We've collected that data and kind of just, I met with the AA, and Emily did too last week, and they have been our third-party consultants on this. They have taken all the data and really narrowed it down to what the people are saying our strategic plan should all encompass. So my work over the next month is to take all of that feedback and try to make it into a nice like 1 page of like, hey, here's where we're headed in the next 5 years. So just want to keep you on. I know Crystal, Jonathan, you guys are new. Just wanted to say that's something we're working on. So the plan is going into August, like opening day last year, we will have a brand new 5-year strategic plan that will be delivered to our community and to our staff and to our students. So
Who will be on the committee or whatever that will help shape this once you get the information?
Yeah, so it's been kind of ongoing. It's been ongoing.
Are there board members involved in that, or can there be?
Now I certainly could, trying to think what part of the we certainly could have you guys I could bring it back to you. What I'm doing next month is we're putting together a draft of the communications department of what, basically, great question.
Sorry.
See this right here?
Yeah.
And you might just kind of flip past it in our packet. Like this was really developed, 12 years ago. We've prettied it, we've taken it, we've prettied it up, but really the same content for the last 12 years. What we plan to do in the next month is to recreate what this page looks like with the new information we've collected from our staff and our parents. And so what I can do is I can bring this to you, hey, here's what I'm thinking. Give me your feedback. We're doing that same exercise with our district leadership team and building administrators. So I can do that with you guys as well to get your feedback. So it's going to look something similar to this, but it's going to have different content, new content that, again, this kind of stemmed from like 2010. you're gonna see some similar things, but there's also gonna be couple little new little twists, I guess you could say, about what we're focused on. So I can definitely do that for you.
Are we looking at like our mission as well, or are we just doing the strategic plan right now?
Yeah, no, like this whole page,
Like
the
the
vision,
mission-
mission, goals,
okay.
What do you call it? Core values, sort of thing, is all gonna be, we're even looking at like what our, there's a
So
lot.
the mission statement, we'll have a new mission statement too.
Yeah, and there's a little bit, we've been talking through that, like that mission statement is usually generates from the board. And so, we can keep that there. There's just some ideas that we're looking at for what's really gonna resonate well with our staff and with our community when they look at on a one-pager. So some things, I'm being a little, like, I haven't had a chance to really dig into the feedback yet. We just got it last week, but certainly that'll be part of it.
Thank you.
That's it? You good?
Yep, I'm good.
All right, we'll start down to my left. Director Mills.
I feel like it's been so long since I've been here that I don't even know what to talk about. I had to leave early last time. I did want to say I got to go to the Central Christmas party. We had gotten an invite to it, the board had, and it was for all their families and staff, and it was so much fun. And I do have a picture. I'll make sure to share it with Pam so that we can get it in circulation. Their student body government put it together, and they have a really large student body government now that it's been reinvigorated. So that was really cool to do. Equity committee, we just had a meeting last week, and we had Nodrika Whitaker from Cunningham came, and she walked through what Cunningham has been doing and the equity that's happened there, how that she's not just closed the achievement gap, in some places it's flipped. So definitely some interesting information came from her, and we will continue to hear from other admins, just other people in the district. Gina's going to keep bringing those people in for us to learn from and to learn from each other. And then I just also wanted to thank everybody for the town halls, for everybody who came. I know it was a lot. My own dad came and had to express that he doesn't agree with me. And so I just appreciate that. I appreciate having that opportunity. I appreciate that he had the opportunity to speak what he was feeling, and that we could hear it from the community, and that we actually, it has the wheels turning for all of us. So thank you for making those happen, Jared, and for all of the DLT who came, and for our stakeholders then, who came and spoke when it's not always comfortable to do so. So, thank you.
Thank you, Director Mills. Director Knight?
Yeah, I got 2 items tonight. I just want to mention, we have conferences next week. Make sure you come out, and meet your teachers, bring your kids, wherever, but get to conferences. So that's an important part. We want feedback, and really, 2 times a year or so. Important to understand how your semesters ended if you're in secondary, and how your semesters are kicking off. The other one, I did want to note, we didn't pull personnel, but I wanted to give a thanks. We have one retirement upcoming with Mr. Dave Getman at West High, and
Oh, really?
and I think Mr. Getman, all 4 of my children have had that opportunity to be in his class, his strength class, and they've all just so enjoyed being in his class, and just connected well with him. He resonated, and been a really good influence on them. So appreciate his time in the district, and wish him well in his retirement at the end of the year. We still got him for the semester, but.
He is awesome.
Thank you. Director Schmidt?
Yeah, just to comment on feedback since the public visits. The feedback has been most people are really excited. no, that's not a random sample, those that want to approach you, so I'm not sure whether that's biased to the positive or negative. But after the meetings, the people that had concerns, some of them were kind of vocal. There were a number of them that I kind of met with afterwards, and you really learn a lot. And often their specific suggestion, complaint, reason for speaking up is quite different than the initial impression. And in a lot of cases, we have considered that or will consider that. So that's all feedback that we really welcome, because it's going to end up making a better product in the end. But yeah, I'm just happy that, especially those that have a concern, we want to know about the concern now, not afterwards. And most of them, I think, are, there's a good feeling to at least be listened to. I did transcribe some notes. I sent them to Pam. So you might get a list of notes from Johnston and Waukee.
Oh, you did?
It-
I'd like to see them too.
They're not in narrative form, but they're in quick notes form. So hopefully they're meaningful to whoever's interested in reading them. So that's all.
Thank you, Director Schmidt. Director Cox.
Well, definitely love to think this process. Going to the town meetings was a earful. A lot to consider. It's kind of interesting with this, working in the schools, it gets complex. I believe myself and, Astor's at the high school, I'm at the lower level. I bring a different, I see things not different, but just in another form. And so, it's one of those things that, hey, I love the fact that we're moving forward. I think there's a lot of great things going on with this district. And then part of it also, as we're looking to move forward, we also have to look at some things to bring forward also. And so part of that is, one of the questions is, having a one high school, how is that going to improve in the areas of our state assessment metrics, our attendance rate, dropout rate, and graduation rate? I come from a little bit of background dealing with the university. There's always action plans. I think we need to see some action plans. How internally we're going to move forward. Providing a new building and there's no action plans, we're just going by the fly. We just can't. And I'm not saying we are, I just think that since I'm the newest member, I just think there's some things in the process that some of you that have been on here, you already know, and I will come to know. Another aspect is that I don't think we shouldn't take this lightly. As you're moving forward to this one high school, how are you going to form, you have an East culture, you have a West culture. We have to have an action plan how we're going to fuse it. And we can't wait later. We got to do that now. It's a step-by-step process. So, part of this is I'm definitely questioning, but I have full confidence in you, Jared, and your team to be able to come up with these solutions, these action plans that I think is so important. knowing that our timeline is June on voting. And so that's something that's part of my process. Because the external aspect of the building, I think, is awesome. But internally, I cannot ignore the fact that I work in the schools and I see, just like the Clint Eastwood movies, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because I believe in this district to move forward. And I think, Jared, you're doing a great job of it. But I think all of us have to move forward with you. And this is part of that moving forward with you. Your staff, the team. And lastly, you mentioned, Jared, was a great article about teacher burnout. A great article. It's real. It's real. And it's layered. You know, what are our appreciation plans for them? You know, for our paras. There's some individuals I definitely applaud are our paras in the schools. I applaud them. Because some of them have the ability to let that teacher be that golden star teacher. Because they know how to control and manage that class. So as I, may come up with some of the things of my process of as we moving forward, it's not looking at it against. It's just my eyes are not lying to me. They're not lying to me. And in order for me to be able to sleep, it's not about me. It's about these children. We got to do right by the children. A lot of us may have some interests. We got to throw those interests aside. It's about the children. And so I just wanted to kind of just throw that out there, that I'm loving this process. It's going to be a challenging one, but it should be. It should be. I remember, Jared, I remember you a little way back, and it's always full of promise, and you know what? I see it now. And like anyone, need to be pushed. Because I think I'm coming with a different view, a different lens. But I got to stand on that. I'm not against it. I just have to stand on the lens that I'm seeing things. And so, as I kind of look at the recap, man, it was, these town halls were busy. But yeah, on the other hand, hearing people in my ear, the good, and people that were concerned, and also in the schools. Because I ask questions. I ask kids questions. I ask teacher questions. I ask parent questions. I ask questions. I want to be a sponge. I want to have all the information I need to have to be able to move forward with this district. So, I understand that I'm enjoying this being new, and but I have to stand up on why I ran for school board. And it's about the children. And fiscally, we have to be responsible, just as we're talking about a new school, we have to be mindful fiscally for our kids. So, just want to say that. You guys got an email. So, go from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Cox. Director Matlock?
I just want to say happy Thanksgiving. Happy Black History Month to everyone. And I want to thank Tiffany Evans for inviting me to Irvin Elementary School to talk to our fourth grade class. We're going to make that happen within the next couple of weeks. And I'm looking forward to Carver's Black History Program that's coming up on February 29th. And Carver's also having a Community Alliance event that's coming up on the 27th, and thank you to Principal Payton for that invite. The onboarding is continuing. I'm meeting some great people and getting to know the district leadership a lot better, which is helping me understand this process a lot. And I too want to thank people for coming to, the 4 town hall meetings. I appreciated the questions and the comments from the community. And I just want everyone to know it's not too late to get your questions answered. Please keep the feedback coming. And as Bill Gates says, we all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Matlock. Director Ewing?
Thanks, everybody, for everything you do, teachers and everyone in this room. This is great work. Thank you.
I'll give you all a little history about how this works. I used to dread going last because everybody tells about all the great things happening in the district before it gets to me. And I think that's going to continue. But that just means that we're all active. We're getting out there. We're talking to our constituents, and we're celebrating with our district. So I don't.
Everything off your list.
Yep. I don't mind. I don't mind. That means I don't have to say a whole lot. I will reiterate a few things though. Conferences. Thanks, Jesse. February 20th. That's Tuesday from 4 to 7:30 p.m. On Thursday, February 22nd from 12 to 8 p.m. And no school on Friday, February 29th. Thank you for all those that attended the town hall meetings. I had an opportunity to attend 2 of the meetings, and I think they went well. I think people got a lot of their questions answered. But if you do still have questions, our emails are public. You can reach out to Ms. Arndorfer, and she can forward that information to us as well. If you want to communicate with us as well, with concerns or support. We're listening to everything. Our next scheduled board meeting will be in this room on February 26th at 5 p.m. The week of spring break, March 11th through the 15th, there will be no board meeting. So we only have one board meeting in the month of March, which would be March 25th. And I think that's all I have. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. We're adjourned. Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
I'm trying to get